good morning. Welcome back to the Good Day with Olivia show here on the KAZ Radio and Television Network. I'm your host, Olivia Winstead, here serving up the good news happening right here in the city of Cleveland, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Cleveland, what are you searching for? Maybe you're looking to start a new business venture. Or maybe you're just looking to make the right connections. Or maybe it's as simple as, or not so simple as, trying to locate your lucky left sock that mysteriously went missing in the last dry cycle. Or maybe you're just beginning a journey of self-discovery. Well, regardless of what it is that you're searching for, I have the experts here right in the studio to give us tips on how to get started. I'd like to welcome to the studio this morning founder of Finding Blank, Amber Horton, and CEO of Millennial Pro, Austin Kirkland. Welcome to the studio, you guys.
Absolutely.
Good morning. I'm excited for the conversation today. Thank you guys for coming out. Cleveland is 4th of July weekend. I'm so excited. I'm ready for some fireworks on the lake. You guys enjoy your holiday. Have a safe holiday. Spend some time with family and friends and enjoy some good barbecue. Let's jump right into the topic. But before we jump right into the topic, let's take some time to get to know the both of you. Are you guys Cleveland natives?
Yes, I am. Technically from Solon.
Okay. You're a Cleveland cousin.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. From Cleveland, born and raised in Maple Heights.
Born and raised, Cleveland, homegrown. So you grew up in Solon.
Yes.
You grew up in Maple Heights. What high school did you guys attend?
I attended Solon High School, graduated 2012.
I attended St. Peter Chanel. It's closed now.
Wow, it was open back then?
It was
Wow.
open back then. Yeah, I graduated in 2010.
Oh, wow. I thought it closed long before then. So you guys, are you in school? Have you guys graduated? Are you taking a look at some colleges?
I actually graduated from Otterbein University in 2016, and I am going back to school in the fall for art therapy at Ursuline University.
Very nice. Wow. You're interested in nursing?
No, I'm going for art therapy, so it's going to be with working with kids.
Oh,
through
gotcha.
art.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
It is known for nursing.
Yes. Okay, I was wondering if you were going to pair the two or something. So
No.
And you, Austin?
I graduated from Notre Dame College. I'm right here in South Euclid.
A fellow Falcon.
Absolutely.
What year did you graduate?
Graduated in 2014.
Okay.
With the degree in management and communications. So now currently I'm pursuing an MBA. I'm at Cleveland State University.
Good for you. What are some of your favorite things to do here in the city of Cleveland?
Eat.
Where do you like to go?
I actually like to try to explore different restaurants regularly, but I also like to try to explore ethnically different restaurants. So I found a cool little Indian food restaurant in Tremont. I like the Ethiopian restaurant in Cleveland Heights.
What's the name of it?
The Ethiopian one in Cleveland Heights is Zoma, or I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. The one in Tremont, the Indian restaurant, that tastes amazing. I can't remember the name of it though, but it's really good.
You're going to have to tell me about it. I like trying new foods and different varieties. So that's interesting. I haven't been out to eat to an Ethiopian spot. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that myself.
Where do you like to go? Where can we catch you on a Friday afternoon?
You know what? You can catch me at happy hours.
Happy hours. What is that?
I love happy hours. I love just doing something that's different.
Where is that at?
If it's at Liquid or
gotcha.
just a Bar Louie. Or Sausalitos. That's right by the IMG building downtown there as well. That's a spot that I love to go to. But I love to just try new things. Love going to Edgewater Live on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of little hobbies. I love playing basketball.
Oh, yeah?
And doing yoga. So I'm all over the place.
Okay. So what has your Cleveland experience been like? What is it like living here in the city of Cleveland? I love it here in the city. What has your experience been like?
It's actually been wonderful because we had a time where it was down. It was a moment where it was really down in Cleveland.
When was that?
I want to say back in like 2006, between 2011 or 2012, you can even say, because that's when it started really rising and starting to really be beautiful again.
Wow, weren't you like in 7th grade and you were just aware of this?
It was just like, because during that time, I believe it was the blackout that was happening during that period of time, where the market value was going down within the real estate market, and then also local businesses as well.
I'm impressed you were aware of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So but you can definitely see the rise and see where where it was, especially 10 years ago to where it is now.
Yeah,
so it's definitely been a rise.
We have made a lot of progress in the city. And what keeps you connected here?
Connected to the city?
Yeah.
I think it's definitely possibly by knowing different people, going to different events. I like to try to explore not just one neighborhood in the city, because I think that is kind of like a hidden gem in Cleveland, that there's so many different neighborhoods, different cultures in those different neighborhoods. And I like to try to go out and explore as much as possible. Like he said, different festivals. Definitely love festivals. There's Wait Over Wednesdays, the Edgewater Live, and like I even said, going to different restaurants in different neighborhoods, going to different thrift stores, just spending time in different neighborhoods. I feel like you connect the most to the city by knowing what's going on, because I feel like being in different neighborhoods, you're going to talk to different people and get different perspectives on their takes of the city, and then bring it all together.
What do you love about CLE?
I kind of like how people are so Cleveland strong, because I feel like I travel a lot too, and there's one thing, like if you ever meet anyone that's like from Cleveland when you're out, it's like an automatic link up, and they rep Cleveland so hard. And I feel like Cleveland, as much as like people bash on the city, I feel like we're such a strong city, and we like love our city so well, so much, and I feel like that's just like kind of like a cool trait to have, is that you feel united, and you always feel like you're like there with like another Cleveland native. So
what do you think about the city? What do you love about Cleveland?
Oh man, it's a lot to love about Cleveland.
I agree with that.
Where do I begin?
Even the winters here, because we have beautiful winters. I think we have so much to offer. We're offering so much now, even in the winter times here with the ice skating. Community ice skating down at in the square, and just having I believe they do a lot of bonfires as well there as well too. So it's a lot of community activeness that they're engaging with people, local business owners, and just the city itself. So it's definitely embracing.
Wow, you guys really know your city. You guys sound so fun. I gotta hang out with you guys. You know all the spots. Let's talk about Finding Blank. What is it? Finding Blank.
So Finding Blank is a nonprofit organization here in Cleveland targeting youth as well as community, giving back to community. And the word Finding Blank, that's everyone's favorite question. What is Finding Blank? How did I get the name Finding Blank? I got the name Finding Blank because I feel like life is a journey. So I feel like everyone is always searching for something, and they're looking to find something. And I put Finding Blank, finding, BLANK, so like the actual word blank, because I feel like it's inclusive to everyone, so that whatever you're finding and whatever journey you're on, you can always fit yourself into the ultimate goal of finding something, and then it relates you to other people, so you don't feel like you're alone, because everyone's finding something, and we're trying to reach all goals of what people are finding, so you can always be connected to us.
So you left it open for us to fill in the blank.
Yes.
Gotcha. Who do you serve?
I serve youth, and then I also serve community, like people that are in need. So we do youth events, and then we also do community fundraisers to give back to the community here in Cleveland. So we gave to the homeless, we've given to people that were a little less fortunate and down on their luck. On Thanksgiving, we've given back food baskets for the holidays, and we have also donated to other local nonprofits as well.
As founder, what's your role?
So my role as founder is kind of everything entailing a business, is reaching out for money to be able to supply the things that we need to give, putting on events, and then I also have a co-founder as well. So it is the two of us. So we kind of like tag team everything. So we actually have an event coming up in a few weeks in August, and it is called Girls' Day Out. So we both had to sit back, find venue spaces for it, work with the different people as far as like the advertising and marketing for it, as well as like reaching out to different people. So we are doing a lot because we are trying to lock in a lot of different things.
Are
So
you
we do a
guys
lot.
are you guys doing this by yourselves? Like, who are you connecting with? Are you connecting with other organizations?
We actually are doing it by ourselves, but we have a lot of outside people coming in and helping. So we have Beautiful Clee coming in, and they are another local nonprofit here in Cleveland, and they are coming in to do they're going to be our keynote speakers for the event. And then we also have a few other people coming in because the event is going to entail a dance class, a poetry workshop, a yoga session.
Does this have a
keynote
cost
speaker.
attached to it?
No, it is completely free for girls ages 13 to 17 years
Very
old.
nice.
So, yes.
Very nice. So how'd you get started?
Actually, Finding Blank started off as a blog that eventually turned into more. So, my senior year of college, I did a study abroad in Central America, and I decided to blog about my experience abroad. And it started off as kind of like something just like for me, like I was just like, I want to write down my thoughts and write down my experiences that I'm going through. Because during that experience, I felt like I was on a self-discovery. I felt like I was finding myself. And then the more I realized I was finding myself, I realized I was finding a lot of other things out too. I was finding like strength that I had. I was finding courage and things. So I started it off as a blog, and spending time abroad, I ended up seeing a lot of like nonprofit grassroots organizations start up and make huge changes in their community, starting so small. So then eventually when I came home, I wanted to do the same thing, and then the name Finding Blank kind of just stuck with it, that other people are finding themselves too the same way I'm finding myself. So why not give them a platform to find themselves? And then Finding Blank began.
What are the goals of Finding Blank? What's your mission?
So the mission of Finding Blank is to be able to give back to youth and empower them and give them a voice while also giving back to the community. So the goal is to be able to raise future leaders to sit back and give back to their community as well, because one person can throw a rock and cause a ripple, but if you get enough people together to sit back and make a change, you'll see a real change come in the community.
What need is Finding Blank meeting in the community?
It's meeting the need of giving an outlet to teens, so it's going to be focusing on arts and self-empowerment, and a lot of teens are lacking arts in schools and different things like that, so we're ultimately going to be an after-school program and hopefully open up a community center within the next couple of years so that we can actually better serve the community with a building that we can actually host events and host after-school programs and host cool events for kids to come and like actually provide art classes and things like that for them.
How awesome is that? I'm very excited to see how that develops.
Thank you.
Austin, let's talk about Millennial Pro. Why that name? Are you targeting millennials?
It's really to embrace like our professionals, and the reason we came up with Millennial Pro is, and our founders is, and then giving them a shout out, Nicholas Wetzel, he's one of our founders, Jameson Taylor, and then Jasmine Hawkins, who is my queen, by the way. We came up with the name Millennial Pro because we are all millennials at this point, and we're embracing something, we're doing something within the city that a lot of millennials, sometimes kind of need that guidance we're trying to do, or need some assistance, or just, in trying to embrace. So we came up with the name Millennial Pro so that we can make a statement of saying, there are young professionals in the city trying to make a difference.
Now, you mentioned the name Nicholas Wetzel. Did he go to CSU?
Wetzel, he sure enough did.
I know, Nick.
He sure did.
He lived in Finn Tower.
Yep.
Hey, Nick. So, what is Millennial Pro?
So Millennial Pro is a advertising and marketing company. We started about almost a year ago or so, and our goal is really to promote the marketing and also promote like business cards, if it's logos, if it's web designing, if it's just basic headshots, if it's videography, and commercials. We do any marketing that you can possibly think of. If it's running social media network, if it's establishing social media network. So our goal is to really promote marketing and to promote advertisement, not only within ourselves, but we also do it for our clientele as well.
How many people do you have working with you?
It's about three of us.
Okay.
So it's a 3-man job.
Okay, yeah, I've seen some of the work you guys have done on Instagram. You guys are pretty good. I'm very impressed with the work. So, as your business becomes more successful, as you grow, and as you earn, how are you planning to give back to the community? What are you doing with your success?
Absolutely. We actually do 3 service events a year. So
nice.
that's part of our company motto is not only conducting our own events, but doing service events as well, so we can show that we can benefit the community in some nature. We do an MLK event with Councilman Bashir Jones
All right.
each and every year in January. So that's like an event we're preparing for now. Again, it's that time of the year. We're preparing for that event as well throughout the year. And then also in March, when we do just our regular St. Patty's Day event, we always send a donation of our proceeds to cancer awareness. So we send that each and every year just because we want to show our gratitude and appreciation of our people in the city here in Cleveland. And then also we partner with Turkey Takeover as well. So we're doing some things with Turkey Takeover this year.
Is that for Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. So we're doing some things with Turkey Table, partnering with them as well to give out turkeys within the city.
That's wonderful.
Definitely.
What motivates you?
It's just that driven effect, I'll say. It's just really having that difference and that effect to really change somebody's life.
Yeah.
But not only change someone's life, to change your life. And one thing I always say is, you are your platform. And
Yeah.
you can create your own platform. And once you have that platform, you have the ability to house other people as well and to give them that opportunity.
You two are doing some great things in the city of Cleveland. I'm so happy that you're my peers. It's so exciting to have you guys on the show, really.
Thank you for having us.
Let's talk about entrepreneurship. What is it? Can you define it for our audience members out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll define entrepreneurship as just a goal in mind, a passion, a driven task, if it's an item or subject or company or so forth in this nature, something that makes you driven, that makes you I want to say hungry, and makes you want to work, and something that you really have that passion for. One thing we always say is, entrepreneurship is very it's a hard field. It's definitely a tough field, but it's an embracing field as well too, because you take so much ownership and so much pride into something that you started within your own hands.
Where do you begin? How do you become an entrepreneur?
Well, first is to really have that goal in mind. It's a step of saying, what do I want to do? What do I want to become? How do I see myself a year from now?
Yeah.
When we started Millennial Pro, I've always had that management background, that marketing background, that advertising background, and I really said to myself, at some point in time, I have to go out on a limb and attempt it myself. I have to see what it takes, see the work that it takes, and also put the effort in. So that kind of embraces the idea of really like going out on a limb and trying something that you really love and have a passion to do.
What was it like for you when you were getting started as an entrepreneur?
Oh man, it was rough because you really don't know where it's gonna go.
Right.
So that's the one thing I will say, especially for our new up and rising entrepreneurs is don't get flustered by not knowing what's next.
Well, let's talk about the challenges that young entrepreneurs face. What are those challenges? I would think like inexperience.
Absolutely.
And
Definitely.
maybe daily life, other things. Maybe you're in school, maybe you have children, and it's hard for you to balance and pursue
Absolutely.
whatever the goal is. What are some of the challenges?
Is well, you stated a lot of it, life. When you start your own company or nonprofit, you really don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know what it's going to look like a year from now, 3 days from now. And, you're balancing not only, your business, but you're balancing, just regular life, daily, duties.
Right.
So really, it's really kind of finding that balance.
How do you know to address it? How can you get over the challenges? How have you gotten over the challenges?
I think passion is kind of like the driving force that helps me get over the challenges, because I feel like I completely agree there are life happens.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes, and like he was saying, like, you don't know where you're going to be in a year, you don't know where you're going to be in 3 days, but I feel like my driving force that helps me like overcome my challenges is definitely like a trust and faith in God.
Yeah.
And that I feel like if you're passionate and it's real and genuine, I feel like it will work out for you. And I feel like keep pushing forward, because definitely, even especially in the beginning, I was like so scared, like, well, what's gonna happen? Like, where's it gonna be? Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna completely fail? But I feel like I've been passionate, and I was passionate, and I truly do want to give back to my community and empower teens. And I feel like that's something I've always wanted to do. I didn't know which form that was going to take, but I feel like even doing one little kind act and like doing one event, I feel like each event or like each thing I do to give back to the community, I feel like is a driving force that I feel like it doesn't make me question it anymore. Seeing like smiles on people's faces, and like seeing that I can even just help one person, I feel like that kind of makes it all go away, of like the self-doubt and all of those things. And like if I can even just help one person, then I've accomplished my goal. So.
Absolutely. How have you overcome your fears?
Just going out on a limb, taking a risk. You know, and the thing is, you know, they always say you never know until you try it. So if you don't take a risk on yourself, you know, then you will always be having that what if in life.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
You know, let's not have. So you know, my message always is to not have that one if. You know, to do it. If it's to go to another state, if it was just to eat a certain food, or if it was just to go bike riding and you never rode a bike before, you know, don't have what ifs in life. Have that opportunity and take a risk on yourself.
When you're becoming an entrepreneur, when you're looking for your goal, you definitely have to discover what your niche is.
Yeah.
To be an
Absolutely.
entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to say. What's a niche? For the people out there who don't know, tell us, what is a niche?
I would say a niche is kind of like what you're good at.
Yeah.
And like I feel like what you're good at, but also what you enjoy, because I feel like you can be good at a lot of things, but I feel like if you don't actually truly genuinely enjoy what you're doing, I feel like you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. So I feel like a niche is like somewhere in between something you're good at and something you're truly and wildly passionate about.
Right.
Because I feel like if you truly love something and you're truly passionate about something, you can become good at it. I feel like if you work hard enough towards it, you can become good at it. So I feel like that's kind of just what your niche is your passion.
What are your tips for discovery? What are your tips to help people out there to find whatever their niche is?
Well, it kind of goes back to one, you know, finding what do you love? What do you love? What do you enjoy? Because again, you know, they always say, you know, you would never have fun in a job if you don't enjoy it. And you know, this is a field that, you know, you have to enjoy. If you don't have no joy and no passion behind it or love behind it, it's gonna be a struggle.
Yeah.
Because you know, you don't want to wake up every day and, you know, have to question of if should I be doing this or should I not be doing this? Because there are going to be a lot of challenges. There's going to be a lot of battles. There are going to be a lot of things that happen unexpectedly, especially, you know, when you go out on a limb to take a risk on yourself. So it definitely has to be an enjoyable passion, and it has to be a love for it as well.
Yeah. How did you discover your niche?
The funny thing is, I really didn't know until people honestly started to tell me.
Yeah.
You know, throughout college, I used to do a lot of events. If it was on campus events or outside of campus events, and you know, one day, you know, a friend came up to me and he said, you know, you're good at this. And I had to really think to myself and say, you know, I really am good at this. So, you know, sometimes it takes, you know, somebody else to acknowledge and see something that you don't see in yourself.
Yeah.
And by that happening, it really allowed me to start thinking more about it.
They gave you a new lens to see yourself.
Absolutely.
And you just tapped right into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why is it so important to start discovering now in our youth?
I think it's important to discover in your youth, because I feel like that is where you are the most creative. And I feel like that is where you are really in your self-discovery mode, because I feel like by the time you become a young adult and like you get older and out through your 20s, by the time you're at the end of your 20s, I feel like you're kind of like falling into your place in life. So I feel like if you don't, well, I don't think there's really a time frame to discover yourself, that it's ever too late to discover anything about yourself. But I feel like you're more open when you're younger.
Yeah.
I feel like you're more impressionable. I feel like you're more confident when you're younger too. So I feel like, and also life doesn't happen yet. You haven't hit bills where you have to pay for certain things, so you have to just get a job, and like you haven't started families yet. So I feel like
got the energy and time to go. Yeah.
I feel like when you're younger, I feel like you're more driven, and I feel like you are exposed to a lot more. I feel like you can sit back and choose from so many different things because you're still learning life and you're learning yourself, and I feel like at that younger age too is when your brain is developing as well.
Discovering your niche can be very intimidating. That can be a very intimidating experience. And what I want to say to the audience is overcoming your fears and what intimidates you about finding what you do best, what you're good at, and even what you love, is believe in yourself.
Yes,
How important is that?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. You definitely have to, believe in what you're doing, believe in the work that you're doing, believe in, the energy and passion that you have at some point in time will pay off.
And how much of finding your niche is really self-discovery?
I think it's all completely self-discovery because I feel like in finding your niche, you're finding yourself because, like, even like you were saying, you had your niche the entire time and you didn't even know until, like, somebody else pointed it out to you. But then you also found yourself in that. Absolutely. So I feel like in finding your niche, I feel like it is one of the most powerful things because I feel like that does go back to self-confidence and like your self-esteem and things like that because you're believing in yourself. And that is kind of like scary to believe that you can accomplish so much. But I feel like sometimes like the scariest things that keep you up at night are the ones you should go for because I feel like your niche is most likely the thing that you sit back and think about all night long to yourself that you're probably too afraid to say out loud to anyone else because you'll never think it will come true and things like that. But I feel like if you truly, like I said before, if you love what you're doing and you're passionate about it, it will come into your fruition. So I feel like you just kind of like have to believe in yourself, and it sounds so much easier said than done, trust me, but I feel like it's definitely like something people can build up to, and I feel like sitting back telling them those positive things to themselves over and over will get you there.
So let's quickly talk about networking and making connections. Okay, why is it so important to make connections and network as you're exploring your niche and pursuing entrepreneurship?
It's huge. It's very important, and the one thing my company and our members did is before we even launched our company, the first thing we said to ourselves, we have to build this network. We got to put ourselves out there. We gotta mingle with people because once we start this company, you don't ever want to start something and not have nothing to start with.
Right.
So it's definitely important, like kind of building that foundation first, building that network first, mingling, putting yourself out there, making yourself available. So when you are decide to start yourself one day, then you have those resources in your hand.
You said something. I was all on your IG page, and you said that it's not always what you know, but who you know.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I agree with that. And I see how that works. But doesn't that leave room for unfairness in business opportunities, unqualified people being picked because of who their friends are? What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so definitely, it's definitely about, who you know, because one of the biggest factors is, people always tend to pick people that they feel connected to. They feel like they have a relationship with, or they feel like they can sit at a table, or if it's go grabbing a beer with. These people are, and that's part of like, what we say is making yourself available, putting yourself out there, because, we're in a hard world. We're in a hard industries. So it's like, how can we differentiate ourselves from others?
Right. And people, they know your work and they're confident in your work. So you might not have the degree that the job requires, but you might have the skill and someone knows that because you've networked with them.
Absolutely.
How are you guys making connections in the city of Cleveland? How are you staying connected with the city? How are you engaging? And then we're going to close.
I think definitely just staying alive in the city and staying up to date. I feel like you have to go out, and I feel like going out can mean a multitude of different things, but I think it's kind of like personality and being friendly.
Yeah.
Talking to different people and being able to go up and talk to strangers and feeling comfortable in any room, because I think the majority of my connections have come from strangers that I've just talked to, and then you end up finding common interest and common ground in. So I think you have, in order to stay connected, you have to stay up to date on what's happening in the city, and you have to go out and make yourself known.
Well, there you have it, Cleveland, Austin, and Amber on entrepreneurship, making connections, and self-discovery. You've been tuned in to Good Day with Olivia. I'm Olivia Winstead. I'm signing off until next week. Happy holidays, Cleveland.